Welcome back, everyone. Investigations into the clash between the Nigerian army and members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria is ongoing. But there are conflicting figures being presented over the number of those allegedly killed in the incident by Amnesty International and the army. Amnesty and members of the Islamic movement are insisting that 347 corpses were buried in the mass grave. However, the medical officer from the Nigerian Army Medical Unit is saying that only a few corpses were handed over to the representative of the state government. Protests have erupted in the Zambian capital Lusaka after rumors emerged that migrant traders were using body parts as charms to ensure success in business. At least 6 people have been killed in the past 4 weeks, and police say some body parts, including ears, hearts and genitals, had been removed.
Fred Kilwe unlocks the door of his small general goods store in Lusaka, Zambia. An immigrant from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kilwe's shop was ransacked when hundreds of protesters looted dozens of foreign-owned shops in different townships in the capital. Police say the violence was prompted by rumors of immigrants carrying out ritual murders. At least 6 people have been murdered in Lusaka in the past 4 weeks, and police said some body parts, including ears, hearts and genitals, had been removed. Rumors circulating in social media allege body parts would be used as charms to ensure success in business. Protesters blamed migrant traders for the killings. Zambia hosts thousands of refugees from neighboring countries, especially Rwanda and Burundi, but relations between the communities are usually peaceful. 62 shops had been looted and 256 suspects have been detained for looting and rioting. Local reports said hundreds of police had been deployed to patrol the neighborhoods following the violence on order from the president, Edgar Lungu. Edward Nsama, who heads a local human rights NGO, said the violence needed to be condemned with contempt to discourage xenophobia spreading in the country.
We would like the perpetrators of that kind of violence to stop forthwith, immediately, and let the government or the law take its course. Let the police do their investigations and then address the situation. Now, what we should know is that the world has become a global village. We are supposed to live in togetherness. Now, for us to start showing elements of xenophobia like what happened in South Africa, it's not good.
Several foreigners had sought refuge in police stations for fear of being attacked.
Music fans across Africa and beyond have begun paying tribute to late Congolese rumba music legend Papa Wemba, who died after collapsing on stage in Côte d'Ivoire yesterday morning. Wemba, born in 1949, was performing at the FEMOA 2016 festival when he collapsed. He was known for blending traditional African music with Western rock. He also toured around the world and recorded with British artist Peter Gabriel. Fans and colleagues paid their respects over social media and in person.
Known in the Democratic Republic of Congo as the king of rumba rock, Wemba's career began in the 1960s. He became a staple of African music over the following decades and was involved in bands including Zaika Langa Langa and later Viva la Musica that reached audiences across the world. Papa Wemba was known for mixing traditional African music with Western rock and worked with international stars including former Genesis singer Peter Gabriel. Born Jules Shungu Wembadio Pene Kikumba in what was then the Belgian Congo, he moved to Europe in the 1980s, taking his band Viva la Musica with him. He faced trial in France in 2004 for smuggling people into Europe, claiming they were members of the band or crew members, and spent a short time in jail. Papa Wemba was also known for his taste for designer clothes, heading a flamboyantly dressed organization called the Society of Tastemakers and Elegant People, known as SAPORS in Kinshasa.
is, well, he'll be remembered for his good music. Let's bring in Mayowa Ogundele, our entertainment reporter, who joins us live on Network Africa. Thank you so much for making our time to speak to us.
It's good to be here.
Well, we're talking about Papa Wemba. See tributes. His people love him. His fans love him. Something must have stood him out that much. What was it?
Well, I mean, the whole world loves him because he took something local. He took something from his locality and brought it to the world. Basically, I would like to liken him to our KSA, King Sanyade, who's taking Juju music all over the world. So he took rumba, which is now called soukous, and gave it that international appeal. He's influenced his generation, and it's not just music. It's the fashion, it's the lifestyle. He inspired an entire generation of youth in Congo to live with a certain style and have taste. So, I mean, he's a legend. All over the world, he will be missed. His voice will be missed. And hey, he was relevant even up until the last time, dying on stage. How relevant can you get?
I was going to talk about that. You know, the death is almost something that is, death is inevitable.
True.
And, but, the circumstances that led to his death is what, is pretty much making the headlines. And let's talk about also, a few other artists that died in the past few days. Let's talk about Prince. Prince reportedly was found dead in an elevator. He, according to medical report, he slumped and all that. And, it's hard not to go back to, the scenario that surrounded, that surrounds some of this death,
Sure.
Can we ignore the fact that sometimes the signs are there, but they ignore it? Do we say they take care of themselves well enough, because just slumming and dying on stage, he probably thought he was well and, he just wasn't.
True. Now, the thing is, with Prince and now Papa Wemba, it's too much of a coincidence, perhaps. Of course, they live in separate countries and do different things, even if it's music, but at the same time, we have to take a closer look. In the case of Prince, it was obvious. For weeks, he had been ill. So for weeks, he had been ill, but he was on tour. He was pushing himself, and he's been known to be a workaholic. Sleeps, he hardly sleeps, he's always working. And now Papa Wemba on stage. I think what we need to do is beg our artists that as much as we love your music, as much as we love that you work so hard, we also want you to be alive, to keep enjoying you being alive. We want to enjoy your music live. So we also need to appeal to our artists all over the world to take care of themselves. Yes, the music is demanding. Having to please your fans all over the world, that's demanding. But you just need to know when to take a break.
Right. So there's a campaign out there to stop the media from using his pictures. Obviously, some people caught him slumming on stage. And
footage is online.
What that would do to the family if we keep sharing those visuals. Has that campaign been successful? I mean, you do understand that that's traffic for some blogs. And
True.
That's money for some, but,
True.
let's talk about the ethical part of it. Has that campaign been successful, telling people to pull it down and stuff?
It has not, and I sincerely don't think it will. Now, for the reason being, let's forget the people who are doing it for monetary purposes. Right. We just want traffic on their sites or anything. He was loved all over the world. We're talking about someone who influences, is an icon, is a legend. And you can't tell people this is how it happened and deprive them of seeing how it happened. People love him. So naturally, the shock, the pain will drive them to want to see how it all happened. They want to see with their own eyes.
Sometimes the more we tell them to stop, the more they keep.
The more they keep at it.
So sometimes it's okay to just
social media is what it is. Seriously, how many things do you think?
You want to pull down?
No, it's not going to work.
Unfortunately. Well, may his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
And his music live way longer than
that would
he's
definitely.
lived. Thank you for coming, Mayowa Ogundele, our entertainment reporter here in Channel Television. That'll be all on Network Africa. Thanks a lot for watching. I am Adeshewa Josh, and I'll see you again.